Let's begin. The High Court has today resumed the trial of Mole Katanga, who is accused of killing her husband Henry Katanga, their residence in Imbuya in 2023. Proceedings were postponed yesterday due to poor internet connectivity. The trial resumed with the assessment of witness, starting with a pathologist who examined the body of the late Henry Katanga. Now, according to the pathologist from Mulago City Mortuary, the gunshot that claimed the life of Henry Katanga was fired at a close range. The suspect, who is on remand, is following the court proceedings from Luzira Prison via Zoom video conferencing. We're going to be beginning with this big story first.
The Katanga murder trial resumed today at High Court, with the prosecution calling its seventh witness, Dr. Richard Ambayo, a pathologist attached to Mulago National Referral Hospital's City Mortuary. Dr. Ambayo, who has also been working with the Uganda Police Medical Department since 2021, provided testimony. During cross-examination, he admitted that he was unqualified to perform post-mortem. Dr. Ambayo testified that on the 2nd of November 2023, Mulago City Mortuary received a request from Bugolo Police Station to examine Katanga's body. He claimed that the body was identified by Katanga's daughter, Martha Nkwanzi. However, during cross-examination, the defense presented phone recordings suggesting that Martha was in Imbuya at the time indicated in the pathologist's report, and that she did not identify the body.
The request was made under Bugolo of the police station by Detective Sergeant Bites David. My Lord, the form requested the team at the mortuary to hold a post-mortem.
During the post-mortem examination conducted alongside his colleague Dr. Male Mutumba, Dr. Ambayo observed a wound on the left side of Katanga's head. However, Dr. Ambayo was presented with pre-reviewed material from experts who determined that an entry wound cannot be based solely on a gunshot wound's size. This, he acknowledged, is not a definitive method for establishing entry and exit points.
I informed one of my colleagues, who is called Dr. Male Mutumba. We had a short meeting and went to contact the postmortem.
The pathologist noted 2 old surgical scars, but concluded that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head.
It hit the left temporal skull bone, causing comminuted fractures.
Dr. Ambayo further testified that no bullet or fragments were recovered from the body. Photographs were taken during the post-mortem, which has now been displayed in court. Both photographs and the post-mortem report have been submitted as prosecution exhibits. The trial involves Katanga's widow, Mole Katanga, and their 2 daughters, Martha Nkwanzi and Patricia Kankwanzi, who are facing charges for the alleged murder and destruction of valuable evidence. They are being tried alongside George Amanyire, the family's shamba boy, and Charles Otai of Bugolo Medical Center. Amanyire and Otai are accused of being accessories after the fact by allegedly assisting Mole Katanga in evading justice. The alleged incident occurred on the 2nd of November 2023 at the family's residence on Chwatu Road in Mbuya, Nakawa Division. All the accused have pleaded not guilty to the charges before Justice Isaac Mowata. John William Ogenda for Btm News Today.
Now this evening, the Forum for Democratic Change, the Najanankumbi faction, led by Patrick Amuriatoboy, has denounced the resolutions passed by rival FDC Katonga faction, calling them null and void. Now, according to Amuriat, the FDC Najanankumbi faction is the only one and also legally registered with the Electoral Commission, and therefore they have the mandate to represent the party's supporters. Now, this comes after the FDC Katonga Road faction passed a resolution on Monday to dissolve the faction led by Amuriats. We have the details.
For close to a year, the opposition party Forum for Democratic Change has been embroiled in a bitter dispute between 2 factions, Katonga and Najanankumbi.
One people.
On Monday, the 19th of August, the party faction based on Katonga Road held a delegates conference where members unanimously agreed on various resolutions, among which was to dissolve the party within 6 months and thereafter form a new party.
This of necessity will entail dissolution of the Forum for Democratic Change under Article 36 of the party constitution, which provides that
However, in response to this, the president of the Najanankumbi faction, Patrick Amriat Oboy, vowed to take tremendous actions against their colleagues at Katonga. Amriat deems Monday's delegates conference null and void, and considering a ruling made by Justice Musa Sekana on the same, resolutions made therein must be considered invalid.
The purported National Delegates Conference, called by the former chairman, Ambassador Birigura, was ultra-vires and void, as the convener, and with the ruling of Justice Esther Nambayo, which slapped a court order restraining the same Birigua and Katonga adherents from organizing the so-called Extra-Delegates Conference on the 19th of September, thus rendering any resolution of such a meeting a nullity.
He says a ruling made by Justice Musa Sekana that stayed the occurrence of a delegates conference held on the 6th of October 2023, in which Najanankumbi leadership was henceforth elected, has never been challenged, thus warning that the actions of the Katonga faction members tantamount to contempt of court.
After the conference, the newly elected leadership was filed with the Electoral Commission and was duly certified. Noteworthy is that the Justice Sekana ruling has not been challenged up to now. That means there was an adherence to this particular ruling, and yet our friends have continued to act in contempt of court.
Amriat asserts that Katonga faction members lack the authority to make decisions about the FDC. He argues that they are essentially outside trying to dismantle a party they have no connection to.
And it's really very surprising that the man that is even made to read the resolutions, Elias Lukwago, to dissolve this party, does not know where we came from. He has no clue whatsoever what it took to form this party, to maintain it above political water. He has no clue whatsoever about the pain that we have endured in sustaining this party.
Amriat, however, says that his leadership has no objection to their colleagues at Katonga opting to form a new party. He affirms that they would have not been the first to form a party after a break-off from the FDC, citing Betty Olive Namisango Kamia, who broke off in 2010, and Mugisha Muntu in 2019.
She didn't quarrel while living. She didn't set conditions while living. Betty Olive Kamia was a founder member of the FDC. We sat with her at Bonita, even while Dr. Besige was out of the country in exile. Muntu is such a decent man. He came to Najanankumbi to hand over office to me. He told me there were irreconcilable differences that probably I didn't know about, and it was time for him to leave. He left in peace. At an appropriate time, we will attend our apology to Muntu.
Amriat did not hold back from taking a swipe at a section of members of the Katonga faction, including party spokesperson Semjunganda, interim president Elias Lukwago, chairman Ambassador Waswabirigwa and Salam Mosumba, describing them as fan makers and comedians.
As a cult, these are fan makers, comedians, who even really talk knowing that the law is not with them. I even wonder which law school Lukwago actually went to. I think the law council needs to question, the integrity of the qualifications of Lukwago. There is a popular saying or adage among us, Baganda, Akasanke Kakulema, a person who has failed to run a city wants to run a national grassroots party. Everything Ugandans know about Mr. Museveni, Colonel Kizza Besigye, seems to be three or twofold. The Honorable Semuju Nganda Ibrahim. He's a speaker's peg boy whose integrity is deeply questionable.
It is worth noting that the fallout that birthed the two factions began over accusations of financial mismanagement and allegations of secret deals with President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. John William Ogenda, Freddie Chris Chisawo for Btm News Today.
Let's move on this evening. Now, Uganda's Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja has commended the development support provided by the government of Italy and other civil society organizations working in Uganda for their efforts in equipping Ugandan youth with skills to combat unemployment. And now she made the remarks during a keynote address at the 45th edition of the Rimini meeting held in Italy. Let's see this.
Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, who arrived in Italy yesterday for a working visit aimed at strengthening cooperation between Uganda and Italy on various development initiatives, was received by Ambassador Elizabeth Paola at Bologna International Airport. She is accompanied by the State Minister for Agriculture, Fred Bwino-Chaklaga, and the Executive Director of the Uganda Investment Authority, Robert Mukiza.
The people of Italy, to convey greetings from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and the people of Uganda.
The Premier commended the government of Italy and its civil society partners working in Uganda for their continuous support, especially the skilling of the Ugandan youths.
We are happy to work with Avis in Uganda. Avis manages 29 projects that directly benefit a number of people in Uganda. I am informed that Avis invests approximately 20.7 million euros annually, and this significantly contributes to Uganda's development. We look forward for further collaboration in skilling the youth, but also in other areas that touch the population's lives.
The Prime Minister is also in Italy to foster cooperation with Italian companies to support Ugandan farmers in value addition to coffee.
Uganda is one of the countries that produce organic food. And 40% of the Ugandan coffee is exported to Italy. However, a coffee producer earns only $2 US per kilogram. But the companies in Italy earn more than $30 per kilogram. That is where we want to partner, so that our people who produce the coffee can also earn a living and develop themselves.
Stephen Tomokongize, a Ugandan youth who benefited from the Avis chain, has commended the company for training him in value addition.
And thanks to Avis Foundation that I got some of these skills and I got the exposure. And at this moment, I'm speaking in Italy in the Rimini meeting. Italy is actually the biggest coffee buyer of our coffee in Uganda. It actually consumes or imports 40% of the coffee that is produced in Uganda.
The Prime Minister informed the Italians that Uganda is moving towards creating opportunities for the youth through digital skills and development. During her visit, she is expected to participate in several forums, including an international conference where she will deliver a keynote address on skilling the youth and agribusiness. The visit is expected to further strengthen the bilateral relations between Uganda and Italy, particularly in areas such as agriculture, education, and youth development. Josephine Mutesi Kimonyo, Btm News Today.
Let's move on now. According to police, a coordinated police operation has led to the arrest of multiple suspects and the recovery of a large cache of stolen electronics as law enforcement intensified the efforts to dismantle a sophisticated theft ring operating in Machinde, Katwe, and also Ndeje. This was confirmed with the police spokesperson, Assistant Commissioner Rusoke Chituma, while updating the country regarding the same matter. We have the details.
Police made a crackdown on electronics theft in Makindye, Katwe, and Ndeje.
According to police spokesperson ACP Kituma Lusoke, the crackdown began on July 6, 2024, when an aggravated robbery case was reported at Katwe police station, resulting in the initial arrest of Gerald Lutaya.
Following an investigation thereafter, by 26th July, as police, we had started making more arrests, and we made the arrest of Lutaya Gerard's wife, Nachigozi Catherine. We again arrested Catherine's brother, Lutaya Cyrus, then arrested Cyrus's cousin, Muyanga Elias Adam. I will give you the record. We arrested a number of them.
Other suspects arrested include Muhammad Sekubwa, aka Madi, Musa Nsimbu, aka Moses or Mose, Abubakali Sekibule, aka Bakali, and Dan Kadidi Semanda, aka Gideon.
Then on 6th August, now we went and conducted a search at Brian Muyanga's residence. So we recovered pangas, keys, wires, and other burglary tools from Bulenga B zone in Wakiso.
The investigation intensified on August 16, 2024, with another search at Cornerstone, which yielded a significant haul of stolen electronics, including 106 televisions, 15 DSTV decoders, 16 woofers, 7 speakers, 2 mobile phones, 2 PlayStations, 19 scrap laptops, and various tools and accessories.
Now, we again continued. The operation didn't end there. On 16th August, after getting very good leads, now we went to Cornerstone Plaza in the CBD, and we made significant recoveries of suspected stolen items.
During the interrogation, they confessed to selling the stolen items to Kiza de Gratiats, who admitted to distributing them to 6 individuals at Cornerstone Plaza in Kampala.
Again made more operations, and we made a search in Kasangati, where we recovered a number of items, but these are more of weapons, housebreaking implements, pangas, a number of items. And also we made 2 arrests of one Sencha Ali, commonly known as Boy, and Sejembe Jamil.
Lusoke confirmed the arrests and the recovery of stolen properties.
Now, in that operation, we additionally arrested 2 suspects, Ndiabajira Ivan and Nwamanya Emmanuel, who particularly were arrested because they are highly pinned for buying stolen laptops.
Lusoke also warned the public to be vigilant and report any suspicious activities related to the sale of stolen electronics. The police are continuing their investigation and have vowed to pursue every lead to ensure the entire network is brought down. Residents in the affected areas have been encouraged to cooperate with law enforcement to help curb the rise in house breaks and theft in their communities. Btm News Today.
Well, the State House Investors Protection Unit head, Colonel Edith Nakalema, has rallied the young people to make an effort to address the concerns that affect them if the country is to achieve much desired socio-economic transformation. Now, Nakalema made the remarks while meeting with the top academicians in the country at SHIPU offices right here in Kampala. Our reporter was with them.
The meeting held at the SHIPU offices in Kampala was aimed at brainstorming on how to address unemployment and wealth creation challenges among the youths in Uganda. Colonel Edith Nakalema informed the academians that Uganda's population is majorly made of young people, and as stakeholders, they should do what it takes to address the concerns that affect them if a country is to achieve the much desired socio-economic transformation.
According to the 2024 preliminary population census, youth between 18 to 30 years in Uganda constitute 22.7%, with the with the dependents comprising 44.4% in the country of 45.9 million. How can we effectively nurture the increasing non-negotiable soft skills and align the competencies of young people with the demands of the world of work today?
She said the government has over the years been coming up with several interventions such as the Youth Livelihood Fund and presidential skilling to create jobs and wealth among the youths.
How can we effectively nurture the increasingly non-negotiable soft skills and align the competencies of young people with the demands of the world of work today?
Hannah Nakalema, however, noted that despite these efforts, the challenges persist and, in the end, they lead to disgruntlement. She therefore advocated for a holistic approach to deal with the challenges to enable the youth to progressively contribute to national development.
We cannot solve all problems of the youth segment of our national population at a go. However, we can make a landmark contribution towards creating an environment where the youth can thrive and contribute towards economic growth in phases.
She also commended Makerere University's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, for eliminating strikes at the institution.
So this of the main campus, there is the historical campus, which you have actually contained. We want to congratulate you, VC Makerere University. Thank God for you. That Makerere, for the first time, I think these are about 5 or even more years not seeing the Makerere students right up to many hills of Kampala.
On his part, Professor Nawangwe advised the government to keep the graduates off the streets by coming up with several initiatives like the national service that keep them productive.
Well, I didn't go into the details on how they did it, but I would assume that if you come up with a national plan, you first of all say, what are those opportunities?
If you're going to become for instance, you do engineering and you go through the university, you are not going to get a job unless you go for practical. You must come out with an apron, with your tools. If you don't come out with that, what you say you want to do to society? We don't want an engineer who is going to come and read books to us.
Professor Nawangwe further urged that Uganda's large unemployed graduate population can be a source of instability if not addressed properly, but it can also be a trigger to enhance socio-economic development if properly managed through targeted schemes. He proposed the Uganda Graduate Employment and Entrepreneurship Transition Scheme to harness the skills of graduates to drive socio-economic transformation at the grassroots levels. The main social benefit of this scheme will be the reduction in crime and social tensions that result in the civil commotion, as well as improved living standards of the population. Btm News Today.
Now to President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who has received a special message from his counterpart from Djibouti, Ismail Omar. The message was delivered by the special envoy of the President of the Republic of Djibouti, who is also the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, at the State House in Entebbe. We have the story.
In the message, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was appreciated for championing peace, security and development of infrastructure, as well as advocating for the prosperity of the people in the region.
I came to listen to your advice, to your guidance. Peace and security is, one of the clusters that I promised to work on very hard. Djibouti and Uganda are members of the ATMIS mission, and we are working now on the post-ATMIS mission in Somalia. We have to handle in the Horn of Africa the Sudan crisis, and President Gele thanks you for your role. You even during the last summit.
Museveni warmly welcomed Yusuf to Uganda and shared his perspective, noting that the most important element is the vision of creating prosperity.
Prosperity can only come from producing goods and services by families and individuals and companies.
He added that Uganda experienced a dark era when sectarianism was promoted by the student movement to opposed that wrong ideology by strongly advocating for the interest of the people.
Because here in Uganda we had a lot of sectarianism, of religion, of tribes, but we were able to show them that their sectarianism is wrong. The problem has been that some of the actors divorce politics from economics.
He pointed out that this gave birth to the core principles of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy.
Because the Amhara have dominated us. Okay, they dominated you, but now you have defeated them. So why don't you reorganize Ethiopia in a new way? Remove the domination by the Amhara, but keep Ethiopia united.
Museveni, however, observed that the current crisis in most African countries is partly because of a bad ideology based on the politics of identity.
Solution to... So I'm glad you are talking about that, about the crises. These crises are really ideological. Because like the problem in Ethiopia, it was created by the politics of identity.
The special envoy was accompanied by Abdi Mohammed Ayebe, Ambassador Extraordinary of the Republic of Djibouti to Ethiopia and permanent representative to the African Union and the Economic Commission for Africa. Btm News Today.
Well, the Executive Director of the Petroleum Authority of Uganda, Ernest Lumondo, has urged the leadership of Bunyoro Kingdom to remain vigilant as the threats from opponents of the Uganda oil persist and continue to impact the progress. Now, speaking during the graduation ceremony of the heavy vehicle drivers from the Bunyoro Kingdom, Lumondo highlighted the misinformation regarding the oil project that is being spread in the region with claims that it has not benefited the local population. Our reporter has more.
Who have been trained here, you are now in a very good position to meet that person and say, but if this project is bad, how come I have been able to get this license? And using this license, I have been able to get this job.
Have also conducted various capacity development and training programs, such as HGV driver training, welder training, technical skills development, heavy equipment and machine operators training programs.
Gas industry is one that demands for great knowledge. It's a high-tech industry and capital intensive. The value chain applies for every stage of the sector, be it exploration, development, production, and those stages are linked to robust logistics and service industry, which the people who are graduating today will be involved in.
First, absorption into Sinop Uganda, absorption into Sinop Uganda, and other oil and gas sector companies.
We're now going to be getting into Btm Health as of now. Well, in today's Btm Health, we're going to be taking a look at some of the effects of skin bleaching. Let's see this.
Skin bleaching is now so popular that on a global level, skin lightening products now represent half of the cosmetic industry. According to recent news report from different sources worldwide, the market of skin lighteners last year was estimated at $8.6 billion and is projected to hit $12.3 billion in the next 6 years. This highlights the demand for skin lightening products, although there is much more to the story. Skin bleaching specifically can lead to dangerous health issues. Board-certified dermatologists say that a little enhanced self-esteem for the sake of aesthetics is not worth the risk of bleaching your skin. Let's look at what's at stake. Worst case scenario, bleaching your skin increases the risk of mercury poisoning. Some bleaching creams contain mercury, which is proven to cause lung and kidney damage with prolonged exposure. Deep-seated cultural notions of what constitutes beautiful skin are often the driving force behind the demand of bleaching products. Here is the problem. While certain skin bleaching treatments can be used safely under the guidance of dermatologists, many products are sold over-counter or online. Those that are not regulated by the US Food and Drug Administration may be dangerous, even lethal when applied over time. Some of the common side effects of skin bleaching: high blood pressure, fatigue, light sensitivity, numbness, neurologic symptoms, including tremors and memory loss, and irritability, kidney failure, lung damage. There's a greater risk of developing skin cancers. Unregulated skin bleaching treatments may contain dangerously high concentrations of hydroquinone and tropical steroids. Applied together, these two compounds halt melanin production in your skin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin its odor. In concentrated doses over time, these preparations can cause permanent discoloration of the skin, typically gray, blue, and purple spots. This is a side effect of mercury found in most skin bleaching products. Mercury is also a known carcinogen. Btm Health for Btm News Today.
Not too much politics just going on of recent, and today we gathered for you some of the best stories. We got out for you some of the best bits in here for you to listen. These are our news bites.
As a cult, these are fun makers, comedians, who even really talk knowing that the law is not with them. I even wonder which law school Lukwago actually went to. I think the law council needs to question, the integrity of the qualifications of Lukwago. There is a popular saying, Oade, Ambangas, Baganda, Akasanke, Kakulema, a person who has failed to run a city wants to run a national grassroots party. Everything Ugandans know about Mr. Museveni, Colonel Kizabesge seems to be 3 or 2-fold. The Honorable Semunyu and Ibrahim is a speaker's peg boy whose integrity is deeply questionable.
We're going to be going for a very short break. When we return, we still have more news, but let's this is what we still have for you. Still to come, the Army Court in Kachiri 1st Division has further remanded John Adam Sentongo, who was found in possession of army attire, to 2 weeks at Italia prison as his lawyer further studies his client's file. And also more than 100 feared missing after a boat sank in Western Democratic Republic of Congo. When we return, that and more.
Discover your voice at WOMCAT School of Journalism and Mass Communication. We are now accepting applications for our August intake. Join us to gain hands-on experience from industry experts and build a career in media through our dynamic diploma, certificate, and short courses. Acquire cutting-edge journalism skills on the over 28 years of training future industry leaders. Start your journey with us today. WOMCAT, where professionalism meets development.
Uliyo nga wekakasa eddoboozi lyo weetaaga okutumbula ekitone ky'omu kuyimba kano ke kaseerako BTM TV akuleetedde Raise Your Mic yimba ate ensonga za kuyimbira ku live band nga abawanguzi bakwewangulya ebirabo eby'enjawulo okuli obukadde bw'ensimbi 5 pikipiki kapyata okulikodinga ennyimba mu audio ne vidiyo n'ebirabo ebirala bingi okwetaba mu Raise Your Mic genda ku simu yo nyiga *247*407# olondeko option ya Raise Your Mic olondeko option ya participate osindike message butereevu ojja kuba weetabe mu auditions wano ku BTM TV abaana babayiseemu ku mutendera oguddako bakulondebwa abalabi bafe aba BTM era beewangulira ebirabo biwugiddwa Simba Automotives ne bikutuusibwako BTM TV.
Thank you so much for staying with us. You're still watching Btm News Today. My name is Paul Collins. Now, I'm going to be moving on and see what we do have from the Army Court. Now, the Army Court in Kachiri 1st Division has further remanded John Adam Sentongo, who was found in the possession of army attire 2 weeks at Shalia prison. And his lawyer further studies his case file. Now, Adam, a civilian who was found in possession of a military uniform, army ranks, UPDF number plates, army boots, a photo with his wife as he dressed in the army uniform. The court was presided over by Colonel Samuel Mujenyi, and the accused being charged on 3 counts. We have more.
John Adam Sentongo was arrested on the 17th of July 2024 by the army after he was found in possession of a military uniform.
This civilian Sentongo John Adams, a male adult, presumed to be of sound mind, aged H2 of the UPDF Act, Capsule 3, is charged with statement of offense. Count 1, an unlawful position of offense towards contract section 158, 1A, 2C of the UPDF Act, Cap 3.
He was first arraigned in court last month and remanded to Chitalia Government Prison. He has appeared for the second time at the Army Court in Kachiri. Once asked if he accepts the charges as read to him, the accused John Adam Sentongo denied the allegations, as stated by Colonel Sam. Adam's lawyer, Counsel Ronald Nampulia, says his client has denied the charges against him, as stated by Colonel Mugenyi. He asked the court to adjourn the hearing for more 2 weeks as he studies the client's file. Major Charles Kabona, the spokesperson of the 1st Division, says the accused at one point accepted the charges, but the accused denied the charges as read to him by Colonel Sam. He will return to court after 2 weeks.
Court ya Feyamaje ya Division Court Martial olunaku olwaleero etudde wano Kachiri okuliriza emisango eya Sentongo Adams we twasanga ina ebintu ebyamaje nga uniforms, pips oba ranks, engato, efaanana nga yambadde uniforms z'amaje n'ebintu bingi ebyamaje nga number plate. Kati olunaku olwaleero kooti etudde wano ng'ekulemberwa chairman wa court bamuyita Kano Mugenyi. Kati lawyer wa Sentongo asabye badjoining kooti basooke bagende basome bulungi betegereze bastudinge file ya Sentongo. Asabye nga weeks 2 ate bajja kuba nga bakomawo nga weeks 2 nga ziweddeko. Okusooka last time bamukwata Sentongo yakkiriza, yali remorseful, nakkiriza n'agamba ebintu mbadde nabyo siri musirikale, naye olwaleero ate bamusomedde emisango n'addamu nayegaana n'agamba nze emisango emusomye si ntuufu. Naye kati ffe nga UPDF tukkiriza mu the rule of law, oyita mu legal process okutuuka ku ssaawa esembayo, kubanga UPDF ina witnesses abalala baamulako nga abyambadde ba civilians abyali nga agezako okutulugunya mu nsonga z'amataka naye nga yambadde uniform z'amagye. Kati our lawyers bajja genda mu maaso nga balaba nga bamupiininga kubanga ebintu abadde nabyo. Naye njaga okusooka okutuusa okulabula oba okukwestioninga abantu abali eyo naye nga balina ebyambalo by'amagye.
Story compiled by Herbert Mugabe for BTM News Today.
A very quick look now at what we have into Fact File for this evening, and in today's Fact File, Peru with Chemtai. Let's see this.
Peru's Chemtai, born July 10, 1999, is a Ugandan steeplechase runner. She won the gold medal in the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase at the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, becoming the first Ugandan woman ever to win an Olympic medal. She added a silver medal to this event in the 2024 Summer Olympics. Chemtai is the Ugandan record holder of the 3,000 meters steeplechase and 5 kilometers road race. Hailing from Buko district, she took up running in 2013 after attending the district's athletic championships in Buko as a casual fan at the 2015 Commonwealth Youth Games in Apia. She won the silver medal in 1,500 meters and 3,000 meters. In 2016, the 17-year-old finished in 7th place in the final of the women's 3,000 meters steeplechase event at the 2016 IAF World Under-20 Championships, which were held in Poland. At the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, her time of 9:31.03 in the heats did not qualify her for the final. She also competed in the junior women's race in the 2017 IAF World Cross Country Championships in Kampala, finishing in the 7th place. At the 2018 World Under-20 Championships, which were held in mid-July, she claimed a notable silver medal in the 3,000 meters steeplechase. A week later, at the Monaco Diamond League, she set a national record with a time of 9:7.94. In 2019, she competed in the senior women's race in the 2019 IAF World Cross Country Championships held in Denmark, where she finished 5th place. At the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Chemtai competed in the 3,000 meters steeplechase. She beat pre-race favorites such as Beatrice Chepkoech, Hyvin Chieng to finish with a time frame of 9:1.45, a national record, and winning a gold medal. Chemtai became the first Ugandan woman to ever win an Olympic medal in any sport. In 2014, Peruth won the 3,000 meters steeplechase race at the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene in a time of 8:55.9, beating her own national record and running under the 9th minute barrier for the first time. Her time moved her up to 6th on the all-time top lists. Peruth won the silver medal in 3,000 meters steeplechase at the 2024 Summer Olympics, finishing behind Winfred Yavi in a new Ugandan national record of 8:53.34. Fact File for BTM News Today.
Now, on to our international news for this evening. Over 100 people are feared missing after a boat sank in West